They also know how to border the line between making characters and literally necrotic flesh look like a waifu. Do I need to repeat myself? Any of your arguments? Rhino Stomp. Yo, are my two gay dads here? Eat him. Eat him. Eat him. Eat him. You know, as time goes by, I'm realizing that as things change, so do they stay the same. That things from my past, as much as I feel like I've moved on from them, irreparably, inevitably, and almost guaranteedly come back around to slap me in the face like a brick, like blunt force trauma. Blunt force trauma. Haha, that's staying in the video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, some of you who may not know this, and for those who've been around for that long, I used to be a Warframe partner. At one time in my life, I was the most viewed Warframe streamer and content creator on Twitch for a very short period of time. In fact, I have well over 8,000 hours in that game, and it was basically what started my career as a content creator full-time. And although my time with the developers left on a sour, I still love the universe, and I still love the theme of Warframe, and every now and again I still go back in to give it a go and enjoy the absolute unique and really no other game has ever really come close to theming of its loot shootery tendencies in power fantasy. And as much as I may not be in line with the developers anymore, as much as how badly they treated me at the end, I love its universe. And I thought today would be really fun if we go back and have a look at all the Prime trailers. Because if there was one thing that DE were really good at, it was making absolutely epic cinematics and cinematography. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And before we go in, even though I may not be a partner anymore, you can still get my glyph in the game by using the code Makarimore. So by all means, represent my cringe within the game if you so choose to. Right, so before we start, I just want to put it out there. If this video does well, and if people would like me to, as well as checking out these Prime cinematics, if you guys want to see me check out the like the big budget cinematics, like the new War trailer, the Warframe Plains of Eidolon cinematic thing they did, I would potentially be inclined to make a second video where we cover all of those as well. I believe, if I'm not mistaken,
is my sin. But greed is the blight that weakens our steel.
Oh, that upscaling though.
These
yeah, this was the first Prime trailer, if I'm not mistaken.
Long war. They're mine drones.
Is that Ballas' voice?
They're mechanizations. Toil in foundries remote.
Oh, I kind of, you know,
purpose?
I look at this and I like, you know, I'm gonna like address the elephant in the room real quick. I don't hate DE. I'm just immensely disappointed at the way they treated me. For all intents and purposes, it was probably a good thing because it meant I could move on and do things myself and became the person I am now. But I look back at these and I just remember how much fun I had and how much I enjoyed the world and the universe. You know, following the lore was not impossible, but these cinematics were just so good. Talk about an amazing way of introducing like the leveled up version of a character that you'd play. And now I'm also distinctly reminded of the memes that me and Ritalius would go at each other with.
Baiting our snares with the worms of profit.
And hey, maybe I'll play some Warframe soon on stream. Not because I feel the necessity to, but because I want to. Ah, Trade Man! Also, perfect demonstration about characters before they got buffed or nerfed. I love the fact that everyone was so content to be to crap on Vauban at the time, and then they were like, you know what? He's not bad. I distinctively remember back when Vauban Prime first came out, nobody wanted to play him unless they were doing the raids. And yes, Warframe had raids at one point. And Vauban was quite literally the goat of crowd control. Ah, yes. Metal Gear. Metal Gear. Mr. Man's is good at playing with his balls. Actually so cool. Vauban. Booban Prime. Fragor too. Mans holds that hammer like he knows what he's doing with himself. Jeez. Okay, so this just goes, I think this is going in release order as far as I can tell. Yeah, it's going in release order, cool.
How you suffered to become this beast.
Margulis.
Yet you laughed at
What a
me.
voice. I'd listen to this man do ASMR.
Others right.
Margulis is the kind of man that could worm his tongue into my ear and make me think things of how Warframe... You know, I'm not going to finish the sentence.
In the vice. But you You played the fool. And so it was that you distorted
Oh, she's so
my
cool.
design.
The Jester. She's the Joker, baby.
A sanguine trick.
You know, one thing does need to be said. As much as DE are immensely consistent with their themings and making things look epic as hell, they also know how to border the line between making characters and literally necrotic flesh look like a waifu. Lest we remind ourselves that when you're sat there going, oh my god, Ember's so hot. Yeah, that's necrotic flesh that you're idolizing.
A murderous comedy.
I'm not saying that we're a
No
freak,
one is
but you're
laughing
idolizing
anymore.
necrotic flesh, and that's kind of
Except
freaky.
you.
Just like me. Damn, these cinematics really made you want to have a vibe for the game. Oh my god, I wish that were me! God, just flip me around with your ankle, flip me around with your heels, throw me down, impale me, shoot me with your gun, blow me the fuck up, make me your little bitch so that I can be primed disappointment. What?
The mere vapors of your life, shimmering still.
I do agree, though. These cinematics were amazing at setting a sort of vibe for the frames. Like, these were great for hyping people up to play them. Wait, this isn't...
None of them truly under how much I lost when I lost
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Valkyr was the first ever Prime trailer. I think.
Nor by what subtle
God,
art
Korra Prime
my
is so
dead
cool
love
looking.
now lives.
Admittedly, and unfortunately, it was around Korra Prime coming out was when I stopped playing.
Within another's gleaming scar. So tonight, we shall
Was Saren the first?
celebrate in her honor.
No,
and
Valkyr was
mine.
one
I shall
first.
unveil a new creation, a harmony of mistress and monster.
Now, my comment, maybe this is more of my, maybe this is more about my perception of things, but has anyone else noticed that DE has a insatiable tendency with their characters in making them, like, literal domination, BDSM, mistresses and masters of pain?
Wait, did you know that we have a Discord and a Twitch? No? Well, now you do. So what are you waiting for? Why don't you click those little links over there and be part of the fun? Just like the rest of us cool kids, you know what I'm saying?
But they always make the female frames completely unhinged, bat crap insane yandere type archetype kind of villains, except for Ureli, which is quite literally the he who whimsical anime magic girl kind of thing. Just think about it. All the women are unhinged chaotic maniacs. It's almost like they're trying to make the female Warframes look unhinged. Oh my goodness, they put gameplay in the trailers. Action! Yo, AAA devs, check out this cinematic. This is how you do a trailer for something. We want to see gameplay. Show us gameplay. God, she's hot. I love Korra. Korra was one of my mains. Please tell me that you can still combine Necros, Korra, and Hydros to make the farming trifecta.
Unsurpassed. Blood raw in whip, claw.
'Cause I used to love running my farming setup with Korra, Necros, and Hydros. Amazing combination. And then I'd be spicy sometimes and even throw in an
Fears a
Atlas there for
weed
Stone Gaze.
Sneaking in the dark. It vines within the mind, corrupting
Whose is this?
it.
Ooh, Necros Prime, yeah!
It germinates within tribes. Dividing.
You know, my comment about Margulis earlier might have been inappropriate, but the voice actor for Margulis here, he's making Margulis kind of feel a little bit primed, if you know what I'm saying. Margulis, more like Margulis.
Death have forgotten the simple power of fear.
Oh, sorry. It's Barlas, isn't it? Look, it's same thing, same thing. Look, again, the lore of the world is immensely hard to follow. All I know is that Margulis and Balus are sexy bitches, and what that hand do.
Let us now remember.
Persona! What an edgy Hot Topic look-alike. Necro's literally that guy you go and see at the mall who's like wearing nothing but Hot Topic drip, who's like, ugh, life is so meaningless, bro. Cool as shit, though.
You will find no greater power.
No! Let me die of cringe! Don't bring me back! Now I've got to put up with the next prime time teasing us for the next cinematic, for the next episode of something that's not going to come out for another 2 years because DE doesn't know how to advertise something without edging people for 2 years.
Than the simple thought of your own name inscribed upon a grave. Our harbinger.
Okay, in the comments below, name me your favorite Prime trailer. And I will tell you mine at the end. Also, just as a reminder, if this video does well, if you would like me to watch some more content around Warframe, like the big epic cinematics they've made, or maybe like the music they've done, I will happily do some videos on those as well, because Warframe is worth paying attention to. It is one of the very few this is like my big thing, right? I am so torn about the game. I separate the art from the artists. I have a problem with the developers, not with the game. And the theming of the game, the world of the game, fantastic, amazing. I love it. And some of the music they've made, some of the stuff they've done with it, and the fact it's a free-to-play game. The power fantasy is amazing. You know, the way they've changed it over the years might be a bit controversial, but it's one of the very few like power fantasies, and there are no other like sci-fi looter shooters out there that play or feel like Warframe. And that reminds me, do you guys remember like back in the day when people used to compare Destiny and Warframe? How? Why? They're not even in the same zip code of similarity. The only thing they share in common is the fact they're sci-fi. I guess that showed how little people had to do back in the day, where they would make random nonsensical controversy between games that aren't even remotely similar. In fact, I would almost compare Warframe more with Division than anything else.
Of all our sleek gargoyles, our voidborn masquerade.
Who's this?
How to honor the one who volunteered.
Oh, Gara!
willingly.
Oh, that's right. Gara Prime came out a couple years ago, didn't she? I haven't seen this
Little
one.
act of courage.
Oh, dude, she looks so cool! One of the few female characters that isn't portrayed as a complete unhinged maniac.
Twinkled like a petty iota.
Oh, wow, that Prime is...
Before our
all in.
golden indifference.
Damn, that looks cool! I love Gara. What, you know, one of the things that I loved about Warframe the most were frames that had infinite scalability if you could utilize their kit properly. And then they introduced the Heimlint that allowed you to mix and match abilities between frames, and I thought that was the coolest thing imaginable. Because it allowed so much, like, synchronicity and, like, adaptation, and people, like, this is the thing that I always love the most. I love getting rewarded for putting in effort and thinking outside the box. When I put in effort to break down a kit, to understand it and get the most out of it, I love seeing that power just emanate from it, like figuring out builds. That's what drew me to Warframe. Warframe was an ADHD, slightly hyperfixated TISM person's wet dream. Because you could put infinite amount of hours in it and have infinite amounts of playability and just have infinite number of builds that you could work with. Albeit it's become a little bit weird with some of the stuff they've done recently with like some of the different type of mod sets and everything, but hey, that's a different subject. I can make a whole ass video about the things that are wrong with Warframe. And I could also make a similar video about how many good things there are about Warframe.
Presumption.
I suppose TLDR, the way I'm sorry guys, I realize I'm pausing a lot and talking about the game rather than watching the trailers. You have to understand, this game was a large part of my upbringing as a content creator, so I have a lot to say about this game. All I'll say is that these problems are more systemic but the best parts are the thematics and the community side of it, even though the community's become kind of gatekeepy recently. And that's the thing that wilds me out. When I first started playing Warframe back in the day, the community was great. Yeah, there was some bad eggs, but in this day and age, fucking Warframe is so gatekeeping. I don't know why.
Until the arches rang with laughter.
I think the point I was trying to make was I love when you're rewarded for putting effort in and getting above and beyond the average player because you're actually using your brain.
That the purity of your stigmatization
Oh,
might shard the sunlight.
Wait a minute, why does
itself.
Gara Prime just look like my regular Protea? I'm not even lying. Look, she looks straight up like how I fashioned my regular Protea.
The unbroken.
The Unbroken. Well, I guess Gara can
Greed
shatter
and
my
denial
walls.
will seduce any destruction. Even our own.
Ooh, Booberon! Now this is one of the OG trailers.
We're blind to future consequence.
Booba
Casting
run,
our debts on
Booba
those to
run,
come.
Booba run. Man's
But
so
what if
toxic
now
that he irradiates.
The Grey Mother sought revenge.
Words. God.
Brutal thorn.
What was that weapon called again? The sticks and something? Silver and Aegis or something?
Ulcers of waste and
Was
industry.
that Silver and Aegis Prime? I think it was, right? Oh my god, it's Mr. Biohazard himself! I think, like, low key, at the time, and I don't know how this is nowadays, like, I'm not really up to date on the meta of Warframe. I loved how, like, back in the day, people were like, oh, you're not using the meta weaponry? Ew, that's cringe. And yet, I could get the Silver and Aegis to kill level 2,000 enemies. It's not about the weapon, it's how you use it. Sure, there are quote-unquote optimal ways of playing, but I love the Silver and Aegis. Something about Sword and Shield users just, hits different. Bit of a Captain America moment.
Sown upon sanguine ground. Fertilized with the blood and bone of its defilers.
Man, this gives me some good nostalgia. That's the good shit right there. That's the good shit. And then we got... Oh, okay, so Zarin. I think this was one of the first trailers.
Winter ashes, there has sprung a field of flowers. Conceived by me.
So, like, putting it out there, guys. Okay, you might be sat there going, actually, to be the most optimal, you need to use, Gara Prime with exactly 2.59% toxin damage. Yeah, haha, laughs in Rhino Stomp. Oh, that's cute. You want to do a bit of Rhino Stomp? No, you're gonna try and do the Rhino Stomp. Oh, you're arguing with a Rhino Stomp. Yeah, but what if Rhino Stomp? Yeah, well, what if Rhino Stomp? Do I need to repeat myself? Any of your arguments, Rhino Stomp.
Germinated for deadly purpose. You used to dream of old Earth, didn't you? Bathed in gold and solid.
Also, one of the most constantly nerfed, buffed, side nerfed, side up, side buffed. They cannot. It's like Ember. Saren and Ember, I feel so sorry for. These poor ladies need to be picked up by the Women's Health Trust and the Women's Shelter. Because the amount that DE have just, like, grabbed these ladies, thrown them to the ground and say, "What are you?" is absurd. They just don't know what they want to be anymore.
And blue. I intend to reclaim it now from the spores and the ruin. It came to me like a proverb. Fight poison with
Like, name me a frame that has been changed more than Saren and Ember.
Cure this sick horde with the greatest of plagues.
And I get the whole thing of, oh, they
I
didn't
will
want to
call
have
her
frames that could just press one button and nuke an entire room. If that's the case, why does Baruch exist? I'm sorry, my Baruch laughs in 2 billion damage.
These like-faced savages, these earth-worn
Ooh,
mules,
Banshee.
a vast, violent
Another
ocean
OG.
at our command.
Wait, did that guy just clip in? Hold up. Zoom in and enhance.
Mules, a vast, violent ocean.
Oh my god! Did you see that? Talk about an old trailer. They didn't even, like, transition him into the scene. He just appears. Look at this. Zoom in and enhance. I mean, look, guys, I'm gonna, with my feelings towards DE, I am absolutely gonna find the smallest thing and lambast them for it. Ugh, multi-million-dollar company can't even, like, put a model in the frame at the same time. God.
Ocean at our command, yet they wither. Mired in mass steel and flesh, casting these hordes from gene molds and flock mines, we inspire nothing.
The Grenier. Modelled after the most beautiful British male.
Demons of Voidwomb must be different, unusual, singular. Crafted without cast, wrought of the finest ore, slender and queer.
Now, you see, the misogynists out there will say that Banshee is the response to obnoxious men that just need someone to talk to. Oh, man's being a problem. Send in the problematic female that will talk his ear off. Solves both problems. Euphora Prime. Euphona Prime. Yo, Iron, thank you for the resub. Man, I miss when Banshee was like one of the quintessential farming frames. Take her to like some of the smaller maps and just use her sonar augment to completely farm the map.
Not a soldier, but a myth. Not a warrior, a spirit.
Very cool.
Banshee.
Banshee Prime? Weird, I didn't realize they put my X in there. Sorry, that was a bottom of a barrel joke. Just like my ex! Anyway.
Cast our shining child
Ooh,
adrift.
Nidus Prime. I've not seen this trailer.
On strange
God, it's such a
seas.
jump to see the improvement in quality.
For with time, these starless currents, black as morning, may work a sea change. And if one grisly dawn the sky should hurl you, herald.
Wait a minute, wait. Okay, I may not like be the most intrinsically in line with the lore. Like, I get the generality of what's happening. But isn't Nidus Prime a contradiction of itself? Wasn't Nidus in of itself a prime frame because it was the first frame? Like, the entire reason it was all infested and shit was because it was one of the very first frames ever made. Like, I'm pretty sure that's contradictory. You can't have Nidus Prime, because that's Nidus Prime Prime at that point. And if Nidus Prime Prime is a thing, what happens if you get, like, an augmented Nidus Prime? Is that Nidus Prime Prime Prime? And if it's Nidus Prime 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 that uses Amazon Prime, is that Nidus Prime 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 Prime? And if it's Nidus Prime 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 with Amazon Prime that's also using a friend's discount code for another Amazon Prime, does that make it Prime 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 Nidus? Oh my god.
Like back to Earth. Remind
I guess you could say that's a bit of a prime joke.
Immaculate ones.
So how do they winding this in the lore? Like, how do they make this make sense? Oh, that's right, they don't. Because if you ask, legitimately, if you go to DEHQ and ask 5 different employees what the lore of the game is, you'll get 5 different answers. Nobody, not even the developers, know the lore anymore. Actually, Nidog, that is untrue. The Prime Warframes were the version of the frame that happened when they were first made. Prime Warframes were the frames that were used in the original war back when they were used for their utility and function. The normal frames are the ones that came later down the line that were the imperfect versions that were reactivated later for the next war, the Second Dream, the new war, etc. The new era of frames. What I'm saying is that there, canonically and lore-wise, should not be a Nidus Prime. But when have DE ever cared about the lore?
What succulent richness.
Oh, God. I tell you what, though. The Infested, when you really look down to it, that is some H.R. Geiger levels of body horror. I think that the Infested are one of the best looking infested sort of zombie type enemies in any game. I still distinctively remember to this day the first time I ever did the first flood mission, when the lights were out, your flashlight in that mission would glitch, and seeing the Infested for the first time actually kind of scared me. I think they're amazingly unique designed. And when you really look at like how their body horror works, it is horrifying.
Diseases
It's like a mix between Necromorph and Flood.
My festering demigod.
Also, why do those look like adorable little Zerglings? No, I'm being deadly serious. They look like they look like the Zerglings from Carbot's animations.
My Nidus.
In before their reasoning behind the rationale behind Valkyrie!
Left us none. Our wasted animal within.
Best prime trailer,
Ugly
best prime
and
trailer,
gaunt,
best prime trailer.
hibernates beneath our shimmering beauty. Why do these warframes stir us so?
Roll credits! God, that's so cool. Some might say... Now, some of you pessimistic people out there might say that that's overkill. I call that kill confirmed and a way to impregnate me without even laying a finger on me.
They burn with our lost desires.
Guys, can we talk to Twitch and get them to hire Valkyr to be the guard at every TwitchCon? Guarantee you won't have to worry about any tier 3 subs being parasocial when Valkyr's roaming around.
Lost instincts. Tenno tamed, but only just.
God, I love the Supra.
Cursed and hunted.
God, I
this
love the way
game.
she penetrates people.
Trapped and tortured. Yet they remain
God, I love the way she impales people.
animals.
God, I just love a crazy bitch. I'm not sure whether that says something about me, but I love a woman who can just grab me, tear me apart, reconstitute me, tear me apart 59 times, and then berate me down to the molecular level. Out of all of the frames, I think Valkyr would be the most fitting to be a character in Guilty Gear Strive. Imagine Valkyr. Her theme tune would be the Potemkin theme. Oh no, they got the dubstep cannon! Quick, activate dubstep! Oh no, not the dubstep! Womp 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 womp! My eardrums! Damn it! That's the what? That's the Skrillex. Yo, guys, I love that. My favorite dubstep song is the one that goes wop wop wop. Wait, is it still groovy to insult dubstep?
Gnawing their limbs from the snare, devouring a banquet of suffering, obese with heat and acid and rage.
You done pissed her off. Good job. God, get you a crazy bitch like Valkyr. You may now proceed with a round of pissing yourself, followed up by a round of praying to your profane gods. Summarily and henceforth, once that is done, you then may realize that your body's been torn in twain and that your cringe is now free. The problematic ones out there would say that she's just a yandere. I reject that sentiment because if that was true, that would just deny the fact that she's already mine. Amazing trailer.
When ape pounded flint on flint, some watched the sparks.
Okay, I've not seen this one. Have I?
Others merely danced.
Octavia Prime?
Our haunted creations will need
Octavia Prime!
to drown out the throb of Helmeth's blood.
Oh, my baby!
Songs to harmonize the long scream.
Okay, my comment on dubstep might be more relevant here. Dang, Octavia Prime looks awesome.
But they are owed their struggle, as we are owed entertainment.
There is no time than in war that I must dance more than now. Oh, in the middle of combat? Let's dance! Octavia, we're in the middle of a gunfight. Stop dancing. No, I must jive. I must jimmy. I must vibe. Did they give her belly physics?
Octavia.
Oh my god. DE, you unhinged degenerate mother truckers. You gave her belly physics. Nice. Gonna be real, one of my favorite things DE ever did were putting in the schwa-zins and then watching people being able to play the entirety of Dragon Force on the things.
What fatherless aberration is this? Who brings the wicked gift of an unknown mask
Hydros?
this
No.
barbarous night?
Who's? Is that Inaros?
Seething with the void.
Revenant? Oh my god, I'm so old. I'm so old. I can't believe that all these frames that I kind of perceive as being new have their prime versions already.
Causality unlike. And what strange cruelty named him? To know and defy his death.
I was never really one for Revenant, honestly. I did, however, find his 4 to be very amusing. You spin me right round, baby, right round like a... Wait a minute, I think if I remember correctly, I have a clip that, like, really popped off. So, I still have active in my chat the commands that I used to have for my guides that I used to make. Word warning, don't click them. But Revenant, at the time when it came out, was so pathetic that the only thing I could make for it was this.
This grim harbinger. This revenant.
I'll be honest, he looks like a mix between Inaros and Necros.
You.
Oh god, they made a Hildren Prime as well, didn't they? Muscle Mommy? Muscle Mommy? I didn't realize they could make her look thicker. Hi, Chippy.
She has sent
Hi, you. How you doing, Trouble?
on their way.
Look, I'm sorry. Chat, really. Just because a woman is butch does not make her a lesbian. It makes her awesome.
This skyborn bastion of the sagas.
Talk about unhinged comment. God, yeah, it doesn't make her a lesbian, it makes her mommy.
So hear me well, Hunhow.
Punch him.
When you despoil the reservoir,
I would have
spare
given
only
any money
her.
to just watch her fist a dude. Okay, that was not the way I wanted that context to come out. I meant fist as in punch him. Like, dude jumps her, okay, I'm not escaping. Okay, you know what, let's move on. Oh, that's right! You guys remember when they were making the spider things as bosses and then they forgot about the third one?
My stalwart. My shield maiden.
Compensating much?
Hildred.
Hi, Penny. Speaking of trouble. Next one. Oh, Wisp. Oh, I feel the one of the main frames I really wish I'd stuck around to play the Prime of.
In languid dreams.
I need to point out, by the way, one of my favorite bits of art that I ever drew, because something I used to do, a bit of Kari lore for you. Back when I used to do Warframe as the main thing, we used to do something like 2 or 3 times a week where we would take a break from Warframe and we would draw some Warframe-related fan art. And one of my favorite things I ever drew, aside from my my patented Limbo Prime Vistixia skin, otherwise known as Bimbo, was my representation of Wisp's maid outfit. Also that one time we drew Nidus as the Code Vein character. Also that time when Valkyr would, like, noogie me. Anyway, not for many out of those times.
A vision came of new heaven.
Oh, Wisp was so cool. I think Wisp,
life into
like,
its...
remember back this, right? Wisp must have been the first time when everyone was, like, if people ever had that question of, like, are DE degenerates, or are they just giving us good fan service? When Wisp came out, and they saw that wiggle, everyone knew. There wasn't any hiding it anymore. All pretense was lost. And yet, as much as her wiggles made people happy, it also made one category of people so immensely angry. And that was the foot fetishists everywhere. And people were hoping that Wisp Prime would come with feet.
Custodian. A subtle sprite to seed life.
I guess they got their wish.
Yet, as I reached for my savage warden, she slipped from me.
Yeah, that moment of, like, okay, like, I don't care what her improvements are for the Prime. The only thing I care is whether she can step on me. Because if she can't step on me, I'm unsubscribing. The game's free. Shut up!
So now, I cast her in flesh.
Can confirm, she does in fact have feet.
Let her be real.
Wait, does she?
Incandescent.
Guys, can we get a zoom in on the feet? Moderators, clip those feet. Jarvis? Jarvis, clip those feet.
This fugitive form. This Wisp.
Wait. Those aren't feet. Those are lies. Even in the Prime version, they couldn't give us actual feet. They're like, aha, we're going to give you exactly 2.5% more feet. So they're more like hooves, really. So it's not like we're edging you with this whole thing, but we're totally edging you. And then they're gonna sit there going like, haha, don't have your feet yet. And then the feet enjoyers out there are looking at the feet going, you know what? Hooves are better. Better? Better. And D is like, oh, for God's sake. Dude, that design is killer. But the question is she thick? I'm not into feet, by the way. I'm merely making observational analysis.
At last, esteemed Parvos, tell
Who
me
dis?
what you desire, and we shall furnish you.
Vorben?
My
Oh, Gauss! Okay, I've seen this one, and it might be my second favorite Prime trailer ever.
desires well known to
Wait, what? That's not... Who's that? Who?
what I have designed, and I shall be on my
Protea!
way.
Protea was my second main. I don't mean to like I don't mean to like be gloatful here. When Protea came out, no one liked her. My guide and the way I played Protea helped people understand that she is an immensely strong frame. People did not want to play her. But then I put out some builds, I put out a couple videos, and all of a sudden the ratio of people playing Protea went through the fucking roof.
Potent weaponry, exquisite anatomy, those are trivial.
But I'm gonna have to go back just to get my Protea Prime.
Manipulation, even the Entrati.
The Entrati have violated time, and I have violated them.
Corpo Mommy? Ah, it's cute, the fact they're using weapons. Don't you know as Protea, the only thing you need to do is use your balls? And ladies and gentlemen, this is also why Protea and Vauban are canonically married, because they have incessant David Bowie syndrome, where they can't stop playing with balls. Excuse me. Oh, those little turret she deploys are so cathartic to use. Who needs aim hacks when we literally have aim hacks? Suitcase gun? Suitcase gun? Gun. I am assuming that she is the equivalent of the Kuva system, but for the Corpus. I know they did add that.
What shall we name her then?
Mine. That's what you name her. Mine.
This child of two fathers.
The sister of... Wait. The sister of two... Yo, are my two gay dads here? I mean, very fitting considering it's Pride Month at the moment. Literally a David Bowie pose. I love it.
We are losing this war, you say. You whisper that my warframes are too genteel.
Is it Gauss time?
Very well. Away with chivalry.
Gauss time?
Let us.
Oh no. Oh no, why did they prime Grendel? Why did they prime Grendel? No! I am not going to escape the accusations. I'm not going to escape the accusation. Okay, come on, let's get out of the way.
Us have monsters.
Let me see him eat someone. Come on.
Roar of club and belly. Hunger and
Yeah, okay, that's cool, but can I see him actually, like, eat them rather than just disintegrate them? I want to see a hand disappearing into his belly. My Vor King cannot be satiated until I see that.
beasts of cave and glut. I spread for you a cannibal feast. A toast to the valor of mere appetite. You tremble, but the drool is on your chin.
Okay, look, out of context, if you just saw that clip by itself, I'll be real, it just looks like you fed somebody Taco Bell. Leftover taco.
For you birthed him in all his innocent obscenity. This
I
is
will
what you
be honest though, the Prime does look way better than the base version.
ordered.
My boy!
We are not
Eat him!
done.
Eat him! Eat him! Eat him!
Gourmet Grendel.
And
demands a
Gauss?
gallant equal.
In the same cinematic? Yeah! Gauss time!
Gastric thunder.
This might be one of my favorite cinematics, just because of how much they were shameless about stealing a scene.
Meteoric as messenger of long-forgotten
Fun story. I was at TennoCon in 2019. And whilst I was there, I was invited back to the DEHQ, where I got to play Gauss as a pre-release. I got to play the beta of Gauss before he was even released. And I, in fact, have... Look, it was me in front of the in the DE office when they were like, hey, Makari, you're kind of pog. Come back to the... Anyway, this was me playing around with Gauss, turning him into Iron Man. I was like,
gods.
Speedy boy. Is it time to go zoom? Time to go zoom? Time to go zoom? Zoom time? Zoom time? Zoom time?
The unspeakable.
And 3, 2, 1.
There must be no more talk of
okay.
defeat.
Nyum. Love it. Actual X-Men moment. Boop.
For thankless eyes shall
Find that barrier and go even further. Plus ultra.
Of his passing.
Nice. All right, and I think that's all the Prime trailers. Correct me if I'm wrong. I might be mistaken. Let me just check the Warframe channel officially, because I do believe that is all the trailers. Oh no, I stand corrected. We just had the Ureli Prime trailer, so I think there's that one as well. Yeah. Unfortunately, I have never played Ureli. She was introduced long after I finished playing the game.
Of all the Uvan theatre, your vivacity most captivated me.
I'm gonna be honest, this is one of those frames that seems like it was a good theme and a good idea.
You concealed deep disrespect.
Oh my god, it's so anime. So anime. It's so anime.
Beneath shallow waters.
Dude, they're not even being subtle about the fact she's an anime magic girl. Like, originally the anime implications were subtle. You know, I can see it now. D.E. Rebecca, when she took over things, was sat there saying, now that Steve's gone, we're gonna make this game anime as f. Because, like, back in the day, they used to hire anime artists to make some of their, like, deluxe skins. Like, for example, Octavia Deluxe and Neja Deluxe. They were made by an anime artist, and they were specifically given the theme of anime to go with. In fact, Octavia, I believe, Octavia's deluxe skin was supposed to be themed off of... I spoke to Rebecca about this a long time ago. They wanted to theme it off of... Soul Eater! Yes, Soul Eater. And then Nidus's was... Neja's was themed off of... Oh, they even told me, and I can't remember what it was called. Either way, there were certain frames when they do the deluxe skins that they specifically give them the vibe of, make it anime, and let's copy anime's homework, but let's not make it too obvious. And then this came along. Yeah, like a zero, that's the one.
You betrayed our trust, mocked our ways, even dishonored the sacred Kuva.
Cool. I'm sorry. It's been about 5 years since I've been able to do this, but it's not Kuva, it's Kuva! Thank you. Try it on for size. Yeah, definitely one of those frames that was more of a cool idea than anything practical. I also like the fact they've done this like Borderlands bit of they've done like a bit of a Borderlands compositing to this, where they've got like a bit of a 2D sort of cell shaded aesthetic going.
So others shall wear you now.
That's a good trailer.
Fatuous nymph.
It's a cool trailer. I love her design.
Ocean
I do.
flower.
But if I use her, I know I'll die of cringe.
Really?
Yeah, it's got a bit of that Jinxie vibe to it, right? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was a fun little delve back into my past. If you would like me to check out the cinematics and maybe some of the music videos, please let me know in the comments. If you guys would like to comment your favorite Prime down below as well, do that as well. And I guess maybe at some point in the near future, as a little bit of an homage to this, I might even play some Warframe. Either way, thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.